Alrighty, let the yapping commence before my tired brain shuts down for the day. You what, mate? How's it going? Wait, you got a license for coming here, mate? No. I am importing freedom straight from the American continent. I have diplomatic immunity. No license needed. How you like that? How do you license that? No, not London, Ontario, London, UK. Haven't gotten fish and chips yet, no. Will we be seeing some collabs coming up then? No, never. Why would I come here and collab with anyone? Pfft. A bunch of Brits? How dare you? Yeah, I'm gonna be meeting up with someone just tomorrow. You won't see that for a while because I have a few videos ready ahead of time. So those will be coming up first, and then I need time to edit and publish and all that. So there will be a little bit of a delay, obviously, but other than that, hope it's your barber. Mm-hmm. What's next? You're gonna pull the old "it's Jesus" thing that people said in the 90s about dudes with long hair? Bar, hell yeah. I've never had it before. I didn't even know it exists. And Sherry-nade is interesting. I like the concept, you know, like lemonade, except it's cherry. The execution, I don't know. It tastes very artificial, chemically, which of course all soda does, but I don't know in particular. What kind of electrical outlets do you have? Why does that interest you of all things? Of anything you could be asking right now, you're interested in the outlets. Well, it's a standard UK, the three-pronged outlets. I mean, you can literally see it right there. It's a bit blurry. Listen, Scal, the guy loves his electrical outlets, clearly. Are you an electrician? Understandable, soda here sometimes is weird. Not just here, soda in general. Sometimes it's just terrible. Especially if it's Zevia, or Zevia, or however you pronounce it. I would assume Zevia because it's stevia. Or is it stevia? I don't know. Anyway, that stuff is vile. Some men love their swords, some men love their electrical outlets. We do not judge, yeah. Whatever plugs and slots and whatnot you're into, right? Do you live in London? No. That would be news, suddenly. I mean, with how much we've moved, I guess it wouldn't be that surprising necessarily. Any plans to visit the Wallace collection? Perhaps. What's it like when the British stop doing their accents for the cameras? That's the weird thing, though. They actually talk like that. Like, people on the streets sound weirdly posh. It's a thing, apparently. I haven't encountered any Cockney accent yet. No, I did not move to England. I just visit. I don't always move immediately. I mean, in all fairness, I've never traveled much. I've always been too stingy for it because, oh boy, travel is expensive. Speaking of which, if you got any spare coin, now's the time. Super chats and stuff. All the Cockneys have been priced out of London. That makes sense. Come to Ireland, it's kind of shite, but hey, is it? I would like to visit Ireland too. Not this time around, but would like to. You have to visit the British National Museum. The problem with the British Museum is they don't allow filming at all. I asked, and they were like, nope. Strict no photos or recording or anything policy. No exceptions. That's a shame, but what can you do? I mean, we'll probably still go there. There just won't be a video about it. Part of why I will never visit the UK, because the British Museum has a no camera policy that condemns the entire country. I went to the Victoria and Albert Museum earlier today, and they allow it. Not for commercial purposes, and I'm going to have to double check with them. I did reach out to them, but I'm going to have to confirm that it's okay if I don't monetize the video. That's what I would expect. That would make sense to me, but I'm going to have to confirm with them if I can do that. So I did record, I just don't know yet if I can publish it. Thanks, Skallagrim. Hey there, long time no see, at least live. How's everything? And your arm, thanks for all that awesome content. You're welcome, and thank you for being a member. Yeah, the elbow is still messed up. It's like, it seemed for a while that it was getting a little bit better, but it also keeps getting worse at other times. I don't know what's going on exactly. You bleached your hair? I did not. It's just different lighting. How many teas have you had so far? 0. Yes, I know. Heresy. I've had several coffees though. I'm just a coffee guy, not a tea guy. Yeah, I just started reading something. Where'd it go? Where is it? Okay, I don't know. Message retracted, I see. That's where it went. Thanks, Connor. I appreciate the super chat. You're awesome. Whoa, holy shit. Slippy MMA just dropped a very generous one. I'll get to that in a moment. Just give me a second. So Connor says, take my money for being an awesome YouTuber. I love your stuff. I gratefully take it. And yeah, holy hell. Slippy MMA hit me with that super chat punch. Thank you very much. Highly appreciated. Goliath is described as a giant with a very large sword. Regardless of whether or not you believe in the Bible, I was wondering if you think his sword would have been normal by modern standards, or and only seemed huge compared to old short swords. Might have been. It's hard to say. It could have been somebody with gigantism. Could just have been someone who was exceptionally tall and had a longer sword made. If it's true at all, you never know. But there are some historical figures that were rumored to have been very tall, at least by the standards of the time, and had larger weapons as well. Thanks, Pretzel. What countries have you been to, if I may ask? For quickness sake, count EU as a single one. Then it's one. I mean, well, been to, does that mean live? The thing is, I actually haven't really traveled before. I've lived in different places, but yeah, I've never really been big into travel so far. I always felt like it's not worth all the money because, as I said, it is quite pricey, especially nowadays. Yeah. Is it worth it? Yeah, can't deny that. It's always great to explore new places, make new experiences, broaden your horizon and all that. But yeah, it's a little on the pricey side. So I'm always, I just tend to think always with larger expenses is like, yeah, but I could set it aside for a rainy day, as they say, of which there are plenty in Britain, right? Literally. But yeah, it's good to spend something for experiences that are worth it. As a Brit, I can confirm it rains a lot. Funny thing is, I actually looked at the average precipitation for the year, which doesn't seem all that crazy. But there are much less sunny days. So that's probably why. There's probably a little bit of rain, much more often, but not as much. Because the thing is, in Nova Scotia, when it rains, oh boy, the downpours we get sometimes are insane. It's like 2 seconds and you're completely drenched. I'm assuming there's more drizzle here, right? More often. Summer has been super cloudy. I've been here 2 days and it's been sunny both days. So obviously, that's not much of a sample size. How's the bar? It's okay. It tastes a little bit artificial, but most soda does, in all fairness. But yeah, cherry version of lemonade is not a bad idea. I'm a huge fan, subscribed for many years. Thank you for doing what you're doing. Always love your videos. Hello from Australia. Thank you. Why London? Why not? I haven't been to Britain before, so why not? I wanted to visit and perhaps collab with someone. Perhaps. Are you seeing more of the UK? Yes. There will be more exploration beyond London. I don't know any at Measton. I have no idea who you're talking about. Thanks, Rich. Visit Hadrian's Wall. I'm not going to get that far. Tower of London, yeah, it's very touristy, but it's probably still worth a visit. Stonehenge is like 2 hours from me. Yeah, but in the wrong direction. Trip's going to be northwards. Greetings from Toronto. I have been to Toronto twice and enjoyed both trips. Definitely a lot cheaper to travel within Canada. Maybe it's different when you live there. I mean, I'm sure it is. I know a lot of people rant about Toronto and unterrible, as they say, but at least visiting, I've liked it. No, I'm not living in Europe. I'm just visiting. I don't move every time I'm in a different location. All right, chill. Just more often than not. As far as my track record goes, I have moved more than I've traveled on vacations. Can't argue with that. Who doesn't complain about his living location? Exactly. Exactly. Haligonians also constantly complain about their city. I mean, the buses are absolutely awful. That's something that I have to say I enjoy quite a bit. The transit here. There is transit, there's proper transit. You know, there's various trains, there's buses that actually come regularly, and there's trams. That pronounced kind of weird, didn't I? Trams. There's some trams, y'all. Anyway, yeah. I mean, they can be awfully packed, I'll say that, but definitely very good transit overall. Underground compared to Canada, I would say Toronto is not too dissimilar, but of course London is much larger and much denser overall. So feel like London Transit probably wins. And one thing I notice is there are not homeless people everywhere here. I did see one who was very very polite and posh, because he went, "Hello, hello, sir. Good evening." And an American lady randomly struck up a conversation about guns. That was the most American thing I've ever encountered at the museum. I was looking at some, and she was like, "How do people defend themselves in Britain?" I almost, for some reason, I was almost tempted to give her a pseudo-British accent, but yeah, she was from the US. I was like, wow, America, all right. Even in Europe, you'll randomly bring up guns to strangers. Okay. This is why I never bring up guns outside of the US. Yeah, but the thing is, I get it if it naturally comes up in a conversation, but if you just start with that to a random stranger, I didn't mind it. I was just like, okay. It was a pleasant enough chat. It was very American. Yeah. Like, how are you doing? Guns? America. Maybe just had an American/Canadian aura. No, because the thing is, she was asking me about what it's like in the UK. So like she was expecting me to know it. Because, she thought I lived there. I remember seeing an American walking into a bakery and asking them, "What do you sell?" And the bakers were just like, "Look with your eyes. We sell what you see." Well, it's just like when Arnie asked for a plasma rifle in the 80-watt range, and the guy was just like, "Just what you see, pal." Right? What the fuck you doing in London? I'm coming for your women. It's a long-standing tradition. Just the pretty ones, though. Coming to steal them. Because I comb my hair, unlike the locals, Why bar? It's like one of the cheapest drinks we have that it's tolerable. I didn't know. I've never heard of it. I just saw it in the store. It's like cherry-nade. Okay, I'll try it. So for the thumbnail, I was like, can I hold up something to the camera that's obviously British? And that was the only thing. if they treated you well. I mean, it's only been 2 days, but what interactions I've had have been nice. Although people are, or at least some people are a little bit more reserved than they are in Canada. You know, if I unleash my habitual Canadian, hey, how's it going? It's just like blank. There's no response. Like, okay, I mean, suit yourself. But some people are perfectly nice, you know, by my standards. Not that I find that rude, it's just, it's not quite as friendly and polite as Canadians on average. I really don't mind, it's just kind of funny. They're probably like, huh? What's that guy up to? But then, you know, the American lady that I mentioned who, out of the blue, started talking about guns, there was an older British gentleman as well there, who, she gave him the same spiel. And he brought up that he shoots crossbows, like in competitions. And she was very open to chatting and very friendly and all that. So yeah, just completely out of the blue, as a random stranger, I ended up in a conversation I did not initiate that was about weapons, you know, like unprompted, just so happened. It's pretty funny. I mean, it was at a museum, so, you know, but still. Even at the true British experience till you buy a warm soda and a cold sausage roll from the same shop. Ugh. We were supposed to make small talk about weapons. I did. Not like super extensively because I'm tired, but yeah. We had a bit of a chat, yes. Do you say you run a history channel about swords and sometimes guns? Nah. I don't bring up my channel in everyday conversations. Have you had a Griegs yet? What is that? Clearly not. Failed opportunity to spurg out about swords? Yeah, no. That's the thing, you know, like, I don't have the tisms, so I'm aware of certain social conventions and how you don't info dump about your niche hobby to random strangers right away, usually. Unless it comes up organically, or unless you are at a convention or some kind of meetup where that's expected. Has anyone recognized you since you've been there? No. As I said, it's only been 2 days, so. I don't really expect that to happen anyway. Yeah, because it's not like I'm one of those channels that get millions of views on every single video, and either way, the largest chunk of my subscriber base is in the US. Although UK might actually be second or third. So. You likely have had someone recognize you, but since you're in a big city, people are less likely to come up and chat. I mean, this could be. I didn't notice anyone giving me a weird stare, like, Is that the guy? You had a fish and chips yet? No, not yet. I have the tism and I feel, well, it's not far off base. Yeah. I mean, there's the ADHD, hyper fixation on interests and whatever, but I mean, I guess maybe the hyperactive type might be more likely to start babbling about their interests. I don't roll that way. My type is just the tired type. Like, I'm barely hanging on. I got no sleep on the flight. It was a night flight. I kept trying, but it was impossible. So yeah, I dragged my ass through that day, the first day, and then I went to bed at like 6, like 6:30 p.m., something like that. Slept for 13 hours. I mean, didn't sleep nonstop, but stayed in bed. Still tired after that. That was rough. That's a little better now. Has anyone ever said you have a soft-spoken voice? Not usually, but I'm in an apartment now. I don't know how much the neighbors can hear, so I'm keeping it down. Hyper inactive type. Yeah, exactly. Should hit York if you're heading up that way. Maybe. Yeah, I have several things on the to-do list, so I'll have to see exactly how it goes, how much time each stop takes and everything. It's just a matter of how much can we fit in, We'll see. And I didn't want to plan every single day ahead of time because it seemed more fun to just kind of wing it. Just be like, okay, we're taking so and so many days and we'll just go explore. I do have a list of points of interest and things that I would particularly prioritize. There are a few fixed ones in there, but otherwise it's going to be free-form exploration. Skell sounds like he's in serious need of a Tunnocks caramel wafer or 3. I don't know what that is, but sounds good. Caramel, yeah. Why not? Just a mention of swords might summon the police. Yeah, it's like, oh, you got a license for talking about swords, mate. Even speaking of them needs a license. Okay. Let me just look up a picture of Tunnocks. Tunnocks. Just so I recognize it when I see it. Oh, you know what? I have seen those even in Canada. They do have some British imports in Canada. I have seen those. I haven't tried them yet. I could have, but yeah. Guess now I should, huh? Oh man, these chairs here. Ah. Oh. Weapons of mass destruction. Thanks, Vegan Gains. London, Ontario, London, England. England. You know what? I should add that to the stream. London, Ontario is pretty big after all. It's not an insignificant place. I mean, pretty big is, yeah. Compared to the other London is super tiny, obviously, but it's well known, shall we say. I should probably... I can just say from the UK. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go with the old term. Live from Londinium. How about that? That makes it more clear. Speaking about sleep, yeah, I need to get some. See you. Enjoy your stay. Thanks, and have a good night. I should do pretty, like, fairly soonish too. I gotta get up early tomorrow. Got lots of shit to do. And I'll make them work it out from the plug in the background. That's a very subtle little detail, especially with how blurry it is. I don't even know if you can really, I mean, you can kind of see it, but Hey, Chatman, haven't seen you in a while, and I see why. Thanks for the super chat, by the way. How are you? YouTube unsubbed me. Yeah. It's prone to do that. I've never understood how the hell does that work, but people keep telling me. Not that there's anything I could do about it, but yeah. Best part about London is stumbling across the old bits that haven't yet been turned into a Starbucks. It's got character, yes. There's a lot of old architecture. I do like the, there's just overall more history and culture compared to Canada. Not that Canada doesn't have some nice old-ish places, at least by New World standards. But London has a bit more. Has a little bit more character. Hate to be a downer, but I'm not good. My dad passed on Thursday. Ah, shit. Sorry to know, man. There's not much you can say in a situation like that. It's just losing someone is always horrible to deal with, and it takes a while. It does get better, even though it doesn't feel like it now, but yeah. All I can offer is a bit of distraction, Condolences don't really do anything, but yeah, that too. Just tuned in. Is it common for British people to believe you're from Minnesota? I don't think so. Haven't heard it yet. I mean, it's only been 2 days, so not a ton of interactions. Condolences help, thank you. No, it's something, right? You test some Middle Eastern swords and compare Middle Eastern craftsmanship to the European one. You can't really compare so broadly because depends a whole heck of a lot on who made it, right? You can get cheaply made swords from either, and you can get higher end stuff. So, yeah. Unless you're talking originals, but then you would have to ruin their value by actually using them and possibly getting them damaged or worn at least. My talk to text hates me. Yeah, it does. Just the way autocorrect does. You try fish and chips and mushy peas yet? Not well, not here yet. I did actually get a can of mushy peas in Canada just recently as a British import, which was pretty good. They weren't actually that mushy, but you know. It's one of those words, isn't it? Mushy. Do you have any difficulty understanding local accent? No. I mean, you know, if people mumble, but that has more to do with my hearing being a little not so great. But the way they pronounce things, it's London, so it's not going to be like some thick country accent. Yeah, further up north, that might be more of an issue. We'll see. What brings you to England? Wenches. What the Nordics have come to the Isles for a long time. Wenches. Hide them. They drop the accent when cameras aren't rolling. Not in London so far, from what I've heard. They, like, regular people on the street sound pretty posh so far. Seeing quite a bit of condolences in the chat. Whatever's up, I hope you're doing okay. It wasn't about me. That was someone else. That was poor Chadman, who's having a rough time right now due to a loss in the family. Got stabbed in London yet? I said, it hasn't been long yet. So far it seemed pretty safe to me. I don't know how it is after dark or whatever, but yeah. I love how Americans think they don't have an accent. It's so weird. Like, I mean, I make my jokes too, but it's pretty weird for Americans to poke fun at the way Brits pronounce it and like act as if American English was the default. It's like, you people took English and turned it into what you do now. Like, how are you the default now? You aren't. Or should I say, you ain't. Y'all. America has the bougie version of English. Isn't British English bougie? It's all like the posh. Well, I mean, you have the posh plantation owner stereotype accent in the U.S. as well. It's like, I do declare, which is rather British sounding, because they were emulating the continental nobility. So, I mean, depends on what time frame we're talking about exactly. Southern East Coast got some pretty bougie accents. Yeah, specific places for sure. Just doing London or traveling around a bit. There will also be more travel beyond it. Some exploration will ensue. I'm gonna do a fan meetup. I was thinking about it, but then I looked at my to-do list of the high priority stuff, and I was like, oh. And said also, I'm not really sure exactly how the exploration is going to go. There are, as said, certain high priority things that I definitely want to get done, but otherwise I don't know exactly where I'll be. So. Did you hear that? Sudden dog freaking out. Hound of the Baskervilles, yes, totally. Accents are weird, it's true. I wish you will exploring our towns and cities. Be sure to enjoy the museums. Oh yeah, I've already enjoyed the Victoria and Albert Museum today. It's pretty awesome. And free too. I mean, whenever I go to free museums, I always donate. So, for me, there's still some entry, but voluntary. But the fact that it is free is pretty awesome. You're going to Easton's HEMA Club. No, Schola Gladiatoria class would have been yesterday, and yesterday I was absolutely dead from the flight. Basically, I just did a little bit of exploring until I could check in here, and then just went to bed and was dead. Way too sleep deprived. Even if not, I don't think I could do much right now because the elbow is still a total mess. So like maybe some left-handed stuff, but I find even when I do that, I sometimes just bring in the other hand just instinctively, like sometimes it just kind of shoots forward, and even that is already questionable with this stupid tendon right now. But it is healing, I think. It's gotta be. It's slow, but eventually we'll get there. Instinct is a bitch for recovery. Oh yeah. I've had a couple of instances where I made it worse accidentally just because like something was falling over or like falling off a table or something, and I instinctively like immediately reach out and to grab it and catch it, but with the bad arm, and that just immediately paid for it, made it worse. It's ridiculous. But how do you stop that, right? I effed up my left shoulder on Monday. Can't extend high to the right. Putting on my shirt is an MF. Yeah. Shoulders are rough. I mean joints in general. Aging. Not fun. Do you have your arm in a sling then? The problem is if you don't use it at all, then it atrophies, and then the recovery is worse in a different way, Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Can't we have video game healing in real life? Yeah. I just get like some little injection thingies, just quick little universal healing booster injection, and there you go. Or inhaler or something. It just restores whatever. Little nanite applicator or potion, healing potions. That'd be nice. My right shoulder is not so much a ball joint anymore as much as two piles of gravel grinding into each other. I feel you, my left shoulder is kind of like that. All because I dared to push myself in the gym. Yes, a little bit recklessly, admittedly, but still. I understand getting long-term injuries from getting hit by a truck or some kind of injury, some kind of accident, I mean. But from the gym, that just adds insult to injury. And irony. I've had more shoulder surgeries than I have shoulders, which isn't a ton, but still too many, yeah. It isn't all related to your car/bike accident? Nope. That's just the other shoulder. This is from the gym. Lift heavy, they said. You'll get stronger, they said. I wasn't even going crazy with it, but it didn't help that when I started to get the pain, that for a while I tried to fix it, improve the form and then try this and that and the other, and it didn't get better. So eventually I was like, well, if it's going to hurt anyway, I might as well say fuck it and push through. That was the dumb part. Don't be dumb. Thanks, Chapman. For you, Skall, still got a limp. Human bodies are fragile. They can be quite resilient, but they're also fragile. I broke my knee by standing up out of my chair. Oof. Leg had gone to sleep and I hadn't realized, knee went sideways. Oh my God, I'm sorry, man. That is one of the worst things ever. You don't even get a cool story. I mean, it is kind of interesting, but it's not like, it's not something epic like I climbed a mountain and fell or whatever. Or I fought off a tank. Anyway, yeah. As said, I'm only here temporarily. I haven't moved or anything. It's just visiting the UK for a little bit. Yeah, the classic standing up and fucking your body up. Yeah, but standing up and breaking your knee in the process, I don't think I've heard it quite that extreme before. Sorry, London hasn't given a good first impression. What do you mean? I haven't said anything negative about it, have I? I'm pretty sure I haven't said a single negative thing the entire stream. There is one negative thing I can say. Why are there no heat pumps? Or any kind of air conditioning, anything. It wasn't hot these 2 days, but it's hot in here. My friend tore every ligament in her knee just by stepping out of her car. While it was running, or what? How? I'm just going to run with it. Player, I stand up. DM, roll a d20. Player rolls a 1. DM, you break your knee. It was parked. Wow. Yikesy. The Vikings are bloody invading again? Hide your wenches. You better hide your wenches. The pretty ones, at least. Feeling very lucky right now looking at this chat. Never know what can happen. You never do know. 'Tis true. If it's the wenches you want, especially pretty ones, Ramsgate. Okay. Where's that? Ramsgate. Sounds kind of naughty. Is there a lot of ramming happening? Let's see, where is that? Yeah, wrong direction. But it is coastal, so for Viking raids, thumbs up. I mean, who wants the ugly ones? I've given up on questions like that. There's someone for everything, I tell you. Whatever you think about, however not interested you personally might be, it's someone's fetish, I tell you. It's going to be exactly someone's cup of tea. Whatever it is. And that's not even a strange one. People share strange preferences on the internet. I don't want to know, but sometimes the internet just slaps it right in your face. Rubs it in your eyeballs until you require bleach. After a few rounds, they're all pretty, and the pretty ones are drop dead gorgeous. Yeah, I mean, that's how Scandinavians procreate. Not that Scandinavian girls are ugly, it's just that people don't interact. They don't socialize until they've had a few, you know? That's the stereotype, at least. And it's not entirely wrong, but, you know. My fetish is people respecting my boundaries and personal space. I mean, it's rare enough. If they're happy, they're happy. That's true. As long as nobody's being harmed. You know. You do you. Hey, Sword Sage. The time zone difference has just gotten even worse. I added another 4 hours to it. So now I'm 8 hours ahead of you. You're going to Leeds? Perhaps. See if Jonathan will let you shoot something cool. Who is Jonathan? Should I know? Sounds like I should. Jonathan Ferguson of the Royal Armouries. Oh, right. Yes. Who did I talk to at the Royal Armouries? Okay, that was someone else. I was wondering if did I just totally forget the name? No, that was someone else. To be fair, he's probably not the only Jonathan in England. Probably not. There's at least one other. There's this Harker fellow. Have you heard of him? He went on a trip to the east or something. He wasn't quite the same when he came back. I don't know what went on there. There are a few others who specialize in blades and armor and things. JF's about the boomsticks. Oh? Sounds good to me. Matt who? Matt Weston, perhaps? Or was it Northton? I've only ever had one person from overseas like it and give everyone... what? Only ever had one person from overseas like it and give everyone a free taste. Oh, okay. I missed your previous one. Local cider, huh? That doesn't sound bad at all. Have a good stream, Skell. I've got to go back to work. All right. Thanks, Chapman. And good luck getting through the rest of your workday. Hopefully you don't need luck, but, sometimes work days can be rough. Forgot that the Americans call apple juice cider wild. Not necessarily. I mean, yeah, there is apple juice cider, but there's also hard cider, which is, the usual alcoholic one that you think about. Right. I just noticed it's 10 here now. I don't imagine that the neighbors can hear me talk at this volume, but I don't know. Some walls are, rather flimsy. So I don't want to chance it. I don't want to bother anybody. So I'm just going to wrap it up here. So I need to go to bed anyway. So thanks for hanging out. Hope you had fun, and take care, folks. You'll get to see more videos soon, mostly pre-recorded ones, but we'll get to the UK stuff eventually.